All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 106. Today on the show, our straights are gay and our gays are trans again in this week's Cringe of the Week. Then, a parent avoids having a trans kid while some other parents seem to facilitate it. We'll compare and contrast. Then we find a few glitches in the Matrix in this week's housekeeping. And last but not least, a TV writer thinks that rapists should be set free in this week's Urban Decay. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 106, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Grab.
All right, one for one on the intro as always. Guys, this week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Fume. Now, if you're like me, you probably have a couple bad habits that would be good to get rid of, but cold turkey isn't always the way. That's why I use Fume. Fume is a company that helps you defeat your bad habits in a unique and natural way. Fume is an innovative, award-nominated device that helps you redirect your bad habits and turn them into something more productive and less harmful. Whenever I have the urge to do a bad hand-to-mouth habit, I instead grab my Fume and breathe in the refreshing flavored air. No electronics, no vapors, no harmful chemicals, and it has a nice weight to it too, so it's good to fidget with. So if you want help kicking your bad habits, pick up a Fume today. Go to tryfume.com, that's TRYFUM.com, and use code Fleccas for 10% off. That's tryfume.com, use code Fleccas. They support the show, let's support them right back, and let's kick our bad habits. All right, let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Fume for sponsoring. Very important to kick your bad habits, Richard.
Yeah, exactly. And I won't say anything more about that.
Yep, we all got our habits taken care of thanks to Fume. All right, let's get into some action. We have really good news. Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, what?
Running for office again.
I thought you were going to say rush to the hospital.
No,
Some
no.
sort of like...
We love Aunt Nancy.
Yeah.
83-year-old Nancy Pelosi announces she's running for another term of Congress. 36 years in politics with an annual salary of $193K, and she's managed to increase her net worth to $290 million.
With only one hammer incident on the way.
And she got a little hammer incident with her husband.
Nothing crazy.
It's a perfect score almost. So yeah, why would she retire? I think once the aliens take over the body, you have the body. You run it into the ground.
Yeah, you go until the brakes fall off. Like it's an old Toyota Camry, you know?
And you just run it till it's done. It's probably harder to get an alien in a new body and then get in a position of power, Speaker of the House type shit.
Imagine how much some of these older politicians, too, know where the bodies are buried, theoretically, or, not literally, but the bodies are buried, the bribes, who really greases whose palms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you could be on life support and they'd say, run again.
Exactly. And that's what they're doing with Dianne Feinstein. That's what they're doing with Mitch McConnell. Once you get the spot, you can't give up the power.
And it's kind of crazy how people on both sides say, term limits, term limits, term limits.
And then they just go,
nope, not this time. Oh, we're in session again? Nope, again.
Their 25-year-old staffer goes, nah, I don't think so.
And it's like the left and the right could honestly agree on that. Term limits. Like, let's just set it up. Let's force it through this year. This is the year. And it'll never happen, basically.
Yeah, and age limits, too, is never going to happen. And we saw the result of that, rambling Joe Biden at some Vietnam press conference. Let's see how he did.
We talked about at the conference overall. We talked about stability. We talked about making sure that the third world, the southern hemisphere had access to change it, had access. It wasn't confrontational at all. He came up to me.
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Someone just comes in and like a boxing match. It's over.
The Oscars, they played him off.
Call it. It's over. And then Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi are probably like, okay. He's spitting.
One of us. One of us. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, not the best showing. Not impressed. Never am. But that one was tough. And the Krasensteins had to get to work to defend him.
Yeah.
They're like, it was a long day. He pulled an all-nighter.
I'm so sick of people taking 15-second clips out of context. I'm the Krasensteins.
Like, buddy, he rambled into nothing, and then some like 26-year-old said, "All right, that's it."
To the president of the United States.
President of the United States addressing Vietnam.
Basically pressed the wrap it up button from the Chappelle show.
So that was good. Trump did a good job over the weekend. He went to Iowa, had a great fratty trip. We can show a picture. There's him with one of the frats.
Yeah.
That's what's up, which is very needed.
That's a nice experience for that frat.
For that frat, and for him too, and then for America to see. We need him to be fratty and liked by our frats, because we need our frats not afraid to like Trump.
Exactly.
A lot of our young men are like, oh, I don't really get into politics, or I don't want to say and make people upset. We need them cheering and going crazy. We need the boys buzzing when Trump comes in.
Yeah, because every single sorority member is voting single issue on abortion.
Yeah.
So we got to balance that out somehow. So frat boys, you might be the answer.
Yeah, but that's what Rob Desantis should have done, because he was in Iowa too. But like Bud Light, Ron's team probably thought it would be best to not be fratty anymore. You know, when Rob Desantis could have done the exact trip Trump did.
Yeah,
like before he already exposed himself as being kind of corny. Like a year ago, he could have done it, and everyone would have been like, Rob DeSantis.
Yeah,
they would have loved him.
Yep. Too late now.
Too late now. Iowa game was probably fun. Trump did great. Burgers, throwing footballs, as good as it gets.
The man knows how to get a photo op. I will tell you that.
Exactly. And then there's also this idea. We saw this like Clay Travis tweet resurface. There's this idea that like we need Ron DeSantis to run because he'll get more moderates to show up. And that's kind of a psyop. Can you read the original tweet and then what he said back?
Somebody goes, "It's a psyop, Clay. They want us to think Trump can win, so we abandon DeSantis, who they know will actually win." And then Clay Travis goes, "I think Biden is an awful candidate, and whichever Republican is nominated will likely beat him if he's the nominee. I think Nikki Haley, Vivek, Tim Scott, and DeSantis would win landslides against him. Trump can win a close race, but Dems hate him so much, so many will turn out."
And everyone thinks, oh, Trump makes the Democrats turn out, or, oh, Trump makes the moderates vote Democrat. And then Cernovich had a great tweet that kind of went against that. He said, in 2020, Trump lost by 52,000 votes in 3 states. He only won 2016 by 84,000 votes across 4 states. The myth that he drives Democrat turnout is a psyop. Mail-in ballots, illegal ballot harvesting, no signature matches? Yes. Every toss-up race in 2020 went GOP. Which is a great point. And if you count the mail-in votes in 2020, which I believe for the Democrats was 60 million.
No.
I think it was 60 million mail-in votes, which means that 25 million people voted day of.
In person, yeah.
Which means probably, if you were to have a dream about it and think about the actual numbers of votes, it was probably like 55 million people legitimately voted for Joe Biden in my dream.
Yeah.
That's what. So it was actually a blowout. Trump won.
Yeah.
That's actually how I see it.
No, I know. And it's like we're presidential elections. We're not talking about the popular vote. I don't care how slaughtered he gets in California or Hawaii. It's like Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona. There's just a couple states that need to flip.
Georgia. Michigan.
Yeah.
And you saw what they did in all these places. So yeah, 60 million mail-in votes for Joe Biden.
That's crazy.
How many actually went for Joe Biden? I don't even want to say because the YouTube channel will get deleted.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Before we get to our next story, make sure you guys tickle this post. Let's help us juice the algo. You've been great. Comments, like the video, notifications turned on. Let's leave some tickle juice for the boys. Let's not forget.
You know, it's an hour-long podcast. There's plenty of time to tickle. You could tickle at the beginning. You could comment twice, even. So run it up.
Run it up. All right, let's keep going. The New Mexico governor, I believe,
Yeah, governor.
is doing some sort of attempted gun grab. Let's let this rip.
Yeah. But your point is valid.
You took an oath to the Constitution. Isn't it unconstitutional to say you cannot exercise your carry license?
With one exception, and that is if there's an emergency, and I've declared an emergency for a temporary amount of time, I can invoke additional powers. No constitutional right, in my view, including my oath, is intended to be absolute. There are restrictions.
Well, that's not true.
We've heard enough.
Well, that's completely a bonker statement.
Governor Karen in New Mexico, which is like a Western state, you know, the gun laws in Western states like that, Arizona, New Mexico, A little different.
Cancel it when there's an emergency, and the emergency is too much gun violence.
Yeah.
And then no one gets arrested or put in actual jail. And then they go, oh, we better cancel the Constitution. And this governor also did another, in what's it called? Breaching? Encroaching?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Well, let me just read it. FYI, she also outlawed free speech if it causes emotional distress to transgender or reproductive health. And she, along with New Mexico Dems, eliminated all parental rights for minors' healthcare decisions. Pay attention to New Mexico. It's the left's test market for their most radical policies.
Good to know. That person needs to be impeached, fired, never run again, maybe even go to jail.
And I actually like it when they do shit like this, because then you're like, oh, wait, some stupid Karen type lady with the stupid haircut can just like suspend your constitutional beliefs? Oh. This should be a wake-up call for everybody, right? Just some lady who got in, and the same way, like a lady who gets in probably with 51% of the vote once upon a time is now like, okay, remember the Constitution?
It makes us feel bad.
Yeah.
It's like basically maybe a reason to not vote for girls.
Yeah, I don't want to say that outright because, you know, there are some good ones, but man, if they look the part and then you think they're a little weak, maybe just go for the guy.
Exactly. There was, that's a good rule of thumb. And similar to this, there was the Biden DOJ is trying to get less penalties for people that protested for BLM.
Yeah, this tweet says the Biden DOJ asked for a reduced sentence for BLM rioter who set fire that killed a man. Defendant felt frustrated, disenfranchised. He was caught up in the fury of the mob, and he believed that by rioting, he was engaging in the language of the unheard.
Yeah.
You actually set a fire and killed a guy. So, unfortunately, all those nice quotations you used shouldn't help you out. But yeah, the Biden Justice Department spending their time on the good stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Got to reward your friends.
Exactly. They're rewarding your friends, and it's all about ignoring laws based on like the sentiment and the feelings that go along with them.
I was emotionally ramped up at the time, so I did crazy shit, and then the New Mexico governor doesn't feel safe.
Yeah, but we're on your side. Like, we're protesting BLM and George Floyd. Like, it feels like that was the right side. But then when Republicans do January 6th, it's like, ooh, that felt bad.
Yeah.
We need to really stop that.
Darkest day in democracy.
Because it feels so bad. All right, page 2 of housekeeping. We have very important housekeeping to get through. We have 3 total pages.
Okay.
Page 2 is kind of where I have fun.
All right.
Page 1.
Page 1, it's like you trick them. You're like, we're talking about various topics. These are news type events. And then page 2, it gets into schizophrenia.
Gets into glitches in the Matrix.
Okay.
So the other day, a couple days ago, Novak Djokovic won the U.S. Open against Daniil Medvedev. So
well done.
We had the no vaccine guy versus the Russian.
Felt good.
Which is a win-win in my opinion.
Big slap to the deep state.
Especially the Moderna-sponsored U.S. Open.
Yeah, the shot of the game or whatever.
Yeah, and then the person who won didn't get the vaccine. Novak Djokovic, Novax, it's his name.
Yeah.
Novax is his name.
They make it easy to remember.
It's the simulation winking at us. So congrats to
we
Novak.
We have a big wink later in the show.
We have a really big wink later in the show. Speaking of glitches in the Matrix, let's go over a couple of them. We have the first one, a tree grows through a car. Not sure how that happened. That tree looks like it's all the way up. And the car didn't get dropped on it.
Okay, I have no explanation. That's a glitch.
It's a glitch.
Okay.
It loaded 2 things in the same spot.
Yep.
And then the next one. This guy is kind of like a Sims type. He falls off the roof, but it acts like a Sims character. Back up on the roof. No big deal. So there's this week's Glitches in the Matrix.
Okay. What do you think? Do you have any broad thesis about this, or is this just like show them and then you judge for yourself?
I think we show and let them judge for themselves.
Okay, cool.
It's just, we caught it on camera.
Yeah.
It's Glitches in the Matrix, caught on camera, winks from the simulation, Novak
Djokovic.
We can't get bogged down, though. We have to keep moving. Okay, I'm just going to say this
you
now.
see Novak? He won, and then the first person, they bring him up the crowd, and he's doing the whole thing, and then he sees McConaughey, and he goes, whoa, McConaughey.
He starts dapping up McConaughey.
Crazy.
Classic. All right, I'm going to say this now. You know how I like high ceilings?
Yeah.
I love high ceilings.
Uh-huh.
Why is that?
It's good creative space. Don't feel trapped. You're too big.
Yeah, well, that's a good theory.
Yeah.
Another reason, which I think is because I get cooked by electricity.
Okay. Yeah.
So basically, if I had low ceilings, the light would be right there, and I'm constantly getting cooked. And I actually recorded this this morning before we started shooting. Let this rip. You hear that buzzing?
A little bit.
That's the electricity trying to cook me.
So you're like the guy from Better Call Saul who is a mental patient and is afraid of electricity.
You think that light's not cooking me?
I don't think so.
And then that's why I like high ceilings so much, is because subconsciously I know that the lights are far away and it doesn't cook me. But every time I'm around electricity, the refrigerator's always buzzing, the lights are buzzing. I'm sitting there and I'm trying to do work and I hear zzz,
So
and I know that's cooking my insides.
So what about just tuning things out? What about just not paying attention to it or kind of like tuning it out?
That's what I try to do.
And you get hyper fixated on it?
Then I get hyper fixated, and then also my work isn't that good. Like if I have to like sit and focus and be creative and work on the script and that light is buzzing in my head, it's cooking my brain.
Okay.
So I have to go in like a dark place or a high ceilings room where the lights are off me.
Where were you when you wrote this housekeeping?
I turned the light off
Oh, okay.
this morning.
I was going to say, this feels like a light on housekeeping. Feels like you were getting cooked when you were doing this.
We haven't even gotten to the good stuff
I know,
yet.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are we getting cooked by electricity? I mean, the answer is yes, but it's just how bad are we getting cooked by the electricity is the question.
Yeah.
How bad?
What degree? To what degree are we being cooked?
Scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
I think we're at like 7.5.
I think we're at like a 1.
Well,
That's just me.
the modern lights, I think, are meant to cook us. Let's move on.
Okay.
Malia Obama smoked a cigarette. We caught her.
Caught her, just like Dad.
Which Obama does she look like?
Neither.
Neither. You know who she does look like?
Who?
Those people that gave the kids to Michelle and Barack.
Wow.
So they could fake the rest of the CIA family. Because those kids look exactly like those other people that are like friends of the Obamas. They're pictured together multiple times.
Okay.
And then that tall one looks like the dad. And then that short one looks like the mom.
Fair.
So that's who the parents probably are.
Case closed.
Yep. And if not, and if I'm wrong, and it's some, I guess, racist conspiracy theory, it's because I got cooked by the electricity.
It's not his fault. The light was on.
Couldn't think straight. All right, let's move on. We have to actually kind of keep moving.
Okay.
Merchant of Death update.
Yeah, Victor Bout, he spoke with the news, I guess. He said, Victor Bout says he told Brittany Griner, good luck during prisoner swap.
Damn, I miss that guy.
We had a good one there, guys.
See, he seems nice.
And we gave him up for Brittany Griner.
We could have had Brittany Griner still in that Russian jail and would have been the exact same place we are now.
I know.
Well, actually, the WNBA season probably would have gone a little differently because the team that won maybe wouldn't have won.
Maybe.
I don't even know if they're in season.
We'll never know. I'll never Google it.
Yeah, I don't even know what team she played on. But yeah, it's our guy.
So we miss you, Victor.
Merchant of Death.
Hope you're doing well.
If you watch the show, we'll get you a base mug. We'll ship it to Russia. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
We have an urban headline that I've been trying to debunk.
Okay.
It says, Lotto and Coi Leray are at odds again after Lotto pokes fun at Benzino's lack of neck on Peaches and Eggplants remix. I don't know what the fuck that means.
I know some of these words. Yeah.
I'm not sure what that fully means.
I can't do anything with this. And let's not spend any time deciphering.
Of course
Because
not.
it would waste our time.
We have to move on to Thiccy Minage breaks a leg. This is Thiccy Minage gets the ball.
Double dribble.
Too much
Double
BBL. Fall. Ready?
Thiccy Minage just blew out her whole knee.
Absolutely snapped it. So that's bad too.
Yeah.
Let's
Thiccy
watch
Minage.
it one more time. Here it comes. Everything's fine. BBL dribbling. Snapped.
Oh, man. Those compound fracture type injuries or like the out of socket stuff, I can never prepare for them.
Yeah, she should not be moving the body like that.
Thiccy Minage. And you know what? I got to admit, something that BBL probably threw off the equilibrium or something. I think that played a part in the knee blowing out.
100p. All right, the other day, Rap Boy and I went to the thrift store. Got some good stuff. I bought some this wooden box. But basically, there was a pair of tighty whitey underwear for sale for $3.
$3.99.
$3.99.
I think someone was pulling a prank on us.
Yeah, but it was the store putting it out. So the store's doing a bit.
On a hanger. Someone at the store or, I don't know. Someone's doing a bit.
You probably could get it for cheaper because there was a stain on it and the waistband was blown out. Yeah. And then also, it was good to see the walkers there.
Yeah, we're in Florida, nice elderly population.
So it's good to see the walkers for sale because that means that the person who needed them got over their ailments.
Exactly.
And then donated them to charity.
They started to walk again, and now they're fine. And give it to the next
for this.
Pay it forward.
Yeah, exactly.
So friendly reminder.
Yeah. So that's that. That's our trip from the thrift store. Something I wish I got from the thrift store is this BLT toilet. I saw this BLT toilet on Instagram, and it looked pretty special. What do you think? I mean... Okay, it's dumb, but...
That's not nothing.
It's not nothing.
That's inspired, right?
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Summer's over, though. Sandwich of the summer, BLT, Arnold Palmer's are out.
Yeah, it's done. I had my last Arnold Palmer batch a couple days ago. Yeah. Over the weekend. It's over. Yep. All right, let's get into our last thing of page 2. People with entertaining talents, or PETs, our pets. Let's get Jeremy Fragrance going.
What are my next goals? I want a girlfriend. I want to live in America. I want to die as Jeremy Fragrance, the #1 fragrance icon that serves the teachings of Jesus. Those are my 3 goals.
That's good.
Girlfriend, USA, die as Jeremy Fragrance, the #1 fragrance icon that follows the teachings of Jesus. Those are my 3 goals.
I like his goals.
Simple man.
He wants to be an American. He wants a girlfriend. Loves Jesus.
Yeah,
wants to be the best at his craft.
Somebody 90 Day Fiance this guy. Let's get him here.
If you guys are interested, you shoot me a DM, and I can probably set you up, especially if you live in the Miami area. We can get you set up with Jeremy Fragrance. Speaking of living in the Miami area, someone who goes up and down the coast, Rob Smith, he posted the other day, this is what he said.
And just as the things that I said and did 5 years ago are being imitated right now, the things that I am doing right now will be imitated 2 to 3 years from now. Because I am an innovator, I am a creator, and I am not a follower. So just enjoy the ride and stop complaining.
Stop complaining, enjoy the ride. And he's recording himself in New York.
In the streets.
In front of people walking by him, which is like a psycho move. I would never do anything like that.
Yeah.
But he's right, though. Because
you'll be doing that in 2 or 3 years.
In 2 or 3 years, I'll be doing that. And also, the whole reason we even have a podcast is because Rob had a podcast.
I know.
Fleccas Talks, the Robcast was the first iteration name of the show, and we changed it. But if Rob
was this?
If Rob didn't have a show and have a podcast, I wouldn't have had anything to copy.
That's so true. So. You would have had to, it's like going just out into the ocean without a map.
Yeah.
You had no game plan. And I'd probably wash up.
And Rob said, I have a podcast. And I said, I can have a Robcast.
Smart.
Which is what we do. All right, last page of housekeeping. The CEO of the ADL, the ADL is getting sued right now.
Yeah, and we kind of missed covering this last week. But the ADL was kind of getting roasted on Twitter for a lot of the bullshit things that they claim. Like the ADL is the people who brought you that this is a hate symbol, the OK finger game that everyone plays.
Milk is a hate symbol.
ACAB is said by white supremacists or something.
Yep. So they really cracked down on anyone saying pretty much anything about Jews. Remember LeBron said, Jews, I want that Jewish money, and they made him apologize? It's like...
Can't even compliment him.
You can't even say the word.
But yeah, and so I think they also led a boycott of Twitter's advertisers. Correct?
Yes, and that's why he's getting ADL's getting sued by Elon. And here's a thing the ADL CEO said.
Validating them. Now, you can see this in real time on Twitter, but at ADL, we also track the extremists, and we could see, from virtue of what they were writing and saying, people like Andrew Torba, who runs Gab, a Christian nationalist and an ugly racist and anti-Semite. They were saying out loud in writing, we feel emboldened because the richest man in the world,
run that one more time.
Torba, who runs Gab, a Christian nationalist and
he was a Christian, and then his face just turns to mad. What I'm noticing about the ADL is they think it's so important to crack down on these anonymous Twitter accounts that post anti-Jewish jokes or say something bad about Jewish people. And then basically anyone who says whatever the tropes are, Jewish people control the world, someone will say that, and then the ADL will come out, make sure that person gets canceled, debanked, deplatformed, and all these things. And then it's like, wait a sec. You're actually proving
they're taking him to the bin. I was right.
Yeah.
Like his hands behind his back.
Exactly. And then everyone always says, like, if you say anything about Jewish people at all, the ADL always comes in and says, oh, these stereotypes lead to anti-Semitic violence.
Yeah.
But I would argue complaining about every single random thing that gets said about Jewish people would actually lead to more anti-Semitic violence. And I think so what the ADL does to combat it is actually what probably causes more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't that make sense?
That's what Elon Musk kind of said as well, too. He said they bring it on himself, and then they call that a trope. The ADL called that itself a trope, and it's like they try to Chinese finger trap you into tropes.
Yeah.
So if it rhymes with a trope, then you can't even say it. So
yeah, exactly. So that's always confusing. You can't say anything bad, and then if you do, oh, that leads to anti-Semitic violence. But I think the anti-Semitic violence would come from complaining about every little thing too much.
yeah, and then meanwhile, like white Christian people are on like step 4 of the genocide plan, like dehumanizing or whatever. Like we've said it before, but
Yeah,
it's all good there.
exactly. All right, let's move on. Last page of housekeeping. We have to keep it moving. Aliens. This was sent to me by a follower. It says, aliens are watching us, unedited, I swear. And it's just a picture of a sky with a circle on it.
And if you zoom in, you can't see anything.
What the fuck am I looking at?
So
can we not waste all of my time, please? Come
guys,
on,
you got to bring your A game, please.
I don't ask for much.
I got a lot of DMs. I can't waste my time on a sky cloud like that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on. Before we're done with housekeeping, before we get into Cringe, this week's Cringe of the Week is brought to you by our friends over at iTARGET Pro. As show watchers know, violence and crime is on the rise. We see it every week in Urban Decay. And a lot of people try to combat that by going out and buying a gun, but realistically, they leave it in the safe and don't really train too much. So if there's an emergency, they won't be prepared and they risk hurting themselves or others. There's no way around it. You need to train with your firearm often. But unfortunately, training can be very time-consuming. It's hard to get to a range if there's even one nearby. And we all know the cost of ammo is through the roof. That's why the iTarget Pro system is perfect for you. You can train with your firearm in the comfort of your own home. All you need to do is download the iTarget Pro app, load the caliber-specific bullet into your firearm, and start training today. You can practice alone, you can compete with your friends, and you could also use the iTarget Pro system to train your family members so they are prepared in case of a worst-case scenario. This is the smartest and safest way to train, and that's why professional shooters swear by the iTarget Pro system. iTargetPro.com is the website. I is in the letter I. TargetPro.com. Code Fleccas, 10% off site-wide.
Let go of my purse.
All right, Cringe of the Week. Thank you to iTarget Pro for sponsoring.
Thank you, iTarget Pro.
It's very important to practice with your gums.
Yeah.
All right, Cringe of the Week. Girl guys, we have a segment here where, we said our straights are gay and our gays are trans.
Yeah, everybody moved over one notch.
Exactly. This is the straights going to gay notch. Let's start with Pajit.
Pajit Bateman.
The homie Pajit.
My hygiene routine that I practice every single day. Every morning I start with using a tongue scraper, then mouthwash before brushing my teeth with an electric toothbrush to avoid rinsing the fluoride out, then apply toothpaste and a whitening booster. I get a haircut about every week or 2 weeks since my hair is thinning and I only have so many haircuts left. If I don't get a haircut that week, I'll trim and straight razor my beard on my own to maintain my stubble, then use an aftershave with barely any alcohol to not age and dry my skin out. God bless me with facial hair, but it comes at a price, so making sure I trim my nose hairs and manscape the hairs I can't show on camera is important. I don't do my eyebrows, but I do remove the hair between them and make sure to keep my nails trimmed and filed. Then I jump in the shower. I use an exfoliating shower towel to keep the dead skin off of me and an unscented body wash to help boost the smell of my cologne. I wash my hair with shampoo and conditioner about 2 to 3 times a week with a shampoo brush. I'll actually apply my cleanser in the shower to save time. Then I apply Old Spice deodorant, and yes, I know it has aluminum, but I smelled some of you who use aluminum free, so I'll pass on that. I apply excessive body lotion because this girl in 7th grade one time called me ashy. She still has a chokehold on me.
All right.
We get it.
Buddy, you're supposed to wash your whole body with a bar of Irish Spring soap.
Yeah.
Hair included.
Shampoo, body wash, oil change. It's all one.
It's one thing.
That's your birthright as a man.
Exactly. It's our male birthright to not give a shit about this stuff. You know how often I shower? saltwater pool.
I don't want to know.
It's a saltwater pool.
Yeah.
That's how often I shower. Saltwater pool. So this guy spends probably $400 a month on all his little products.
Yes.
Make his
And he goes,
skin-
I do this one thing to save time. And it's like, buddy,
Yeah.
you got a 10-step plan. You're not saving time.
Weekly haircuts. And you know how like the deep state back in the day got women in the workforce, but like another ulterior motive behind that was just to like double the tax revenue?
Of course, the tax base.
There's something else going on there where like these products and these companies want like the male demographic involved.
Procter and Gamble wants you on a $300 a month routine like this guy.
They want you on some twink shit.
And you know what? I was going to say that the most men, you maybe have like one of these things. Like, all right, I have dry skin, so I do a lotion thing on my, arms. And it's like, that's the only thing I do. He's hitting every single one. And it's like, we're not saying don't brush your teeth, but, he's got a lot.
And his teeth routine, he's using the mouthwash to keep the fluoride in. Buddy, that's like the whole thing.
That might explain all the twink shit.
Yeah, you're on some weird. Maybe you're getting electrocuted, a little fried by the electricity that makes you like act like a girl. Well, let's move on to the next guy who has a hair system.
Yeah, he's
This is bad.
My favorite is his little briefcase that he pulls out.
Guess what? My hair is actually not real. I do wear a hair system. You can see the edges are starting to come up a little bit right here. So we're gonna take it off, wash it, reapply it, and you're gonna do it with. So the first thing we gotta do is you gotta get in my handy dandy little kit here. So we're gonna be using KP Pro to spray on and help lift it off. I already put it in a bottle to make it easy for myself. Spray, spray, spray. Let's pull that off. Boom. There it is. Get rid of this.
He's got kind of normal hair.
Still. Spray, spray, spray some more to help get that tape off. Grab a paper towel to rip it off nice and clean. Then we're gonna go a little bit of Dawn dish soap solves everything. Oh yeah, scrub it out, brush it out. Clean your face too, you degenerate. Gotta pat that bitch down to dry it out. We're gonna add some KP Skin Med for a nice little base layer for extra hold. Throw that tape on there, very precise right here. Squish it down, push it, grab a little knife, maybe pull the edges up to make it easy, and cut a couple in half. Put a little more on your head for that nice clean spot, and here we go. Apply that bad boy. Get in the right spot. Don't f it up. If you f it up, it will look stupid. Rub it in. Oh yeah, rub it all around just like that. Yeah.
We get it.
He swore, so it's cool.
Yeah. So, buddy,
hair system.
Just have that crappy hairline that you have, or buzz your shit and keep it moving.
Buzz your shit and keep it moving is the real advice.
That's like another thing of like your male birthright.
Mm-hmm.
It's your male birthright to not care about your hair and just like I ballpark my haircuts.
I know.
I haven't gone to the barber since 2019 because I don't want anyone getting me in a chair like that.
I get that.
You don't have access to me in a chair like that with a little thing on me and you walk around.
Prisoner, basically.
I can't do it.
Little bib keeps your arms tucked too.
Yeah, and there was one time a barber who was like telling me about like BLM or something. It was like some protest thing, and then you had a barber in New Orleans who was like some twink,
some pussy,
so
some pussy. He just talked about stuff, and I'd have to go, haha, yeah, because I'm not gonna fight with him.
And there was one guy who did like a 2-hour haircut on me, who just like focused on the fade for way too long, and I'll never did not do it myself now.
Smart.
So it's a male birthright. If you have bad hairline, you buzz it, or you just let it ride, and that's what you look like.
And you know what's actually sad, come to think of? Male pattern baldness, just a straight George Costanza horseshoe.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically gone.
Yeah.
Because people shave their whole head. I'd like to see some people wearing that proudly.
That would be like...
The male pattern baldness, bring it back, 80s movie villain,
Yeah. That actually would be like a hipster thing to do.
You're stronger than anyone if you can have just male pattern baldness horseshoe.
So that's how it came out.
Yeah.
I'm here to do the business deal.
I have testosterone. Sorry. You want to buy the car or not?
So something happens when these types of people have children. These two types.
Oh, yeah.
There was a gender reveal. This is our final clip of this girls to guys section.
Jumped up on his pregnant wife's belly like that?
Like a twink.
Look at him.
That's dangerous.
I know. He could have kneed the baby.
All right. Let's get out of this section. We're still in cringe.
Hey, guys, they want you so bad to spend $325 a month now.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
They want you to be the girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's not good. Mm-hmm. And there's other things at play trying to make your kids trans, which we know. Mm-hmm. So California has a new bill. Let's start with that.
Yeah, California Assembly just voted in favor of AB 957, which will require judges to take into account whether a parent affirms a child's gender identity or gender expression in determining custody. So it's making it, and it's headed to Gavin Newsom's desk, might be signed, I don't know. Hopefully Gavin pulls a hero move, but can't count on that.
Doubt. And then Elon Musk said the bill is a wolf in sheep's clothing. What it actually means is that if you disagree with the other parent about sterilizing your child, you lose custody.
Of course, they're not taking into consideration the if you affirm it and going you can't affirm it. They're saying please do, obviously, which it should be technically reversed.
Exactly. Tie goes to the trans person.
Tie goes to the trans person when in fact it should be tie goes to let's let puberty sort this out.
Exactly. We had a person on Twitter who was a mom who had a trans kid and then got the kid back to normal.
Yeah, she said, I didn't affirm my daughter. I removed her from the contagion. Within months, she pulled what I call a cease and desist. She saw the truth and left the cult. Over a year later, she's thriving more than she ever was, when involved in gender craze. And I think we may have covered this on the show, at least for the original. Mom posts an update, and the girl's just a regular girl still.
Great. Remove the phone, remove the bad influences, probably the Reddit access.
Yeah.
And now everything goes back to normal. You're a normal girl.
Yeah, you know the devil on your shoulder? It's really just some 34-year-old trans person on Reddit.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no like devil on your shoulder and then the angel going, no, it's just some trans person.
Trying to talk to your kid.
Yeah.
And then that type of trans person replied to that tweet and said, oh my God, this crazy TERF mom posted an update about a year and the kid looks even more miserable.
And then look at this profile picture of the person who posted that.
Dreamleaf. I'm sure that's what Dreamleaf
I'm
looks
sure
like.
You look approximately like that, buddy.
Exactly.
Go dilate your shit.
Yep, and there was a funny meme. No, we almost had her, and it's some disgusting cartoon trans person mad that they didn't get the kid.
And that's really what it is. It's like recruitment. Every vote counts. You need new soldiers. You need new people in the ranks.
Yep.
And then it's a pyramid scheme. The more you get, the more you get.
Exactly.
So they keep breeding.
You can't give birth to one.
Yeah, breeding in a metaphorical sense.
You
right?
have to get them after they're normal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the dad who's not doing the same thing. His son is playing football with nail polish, and he's encouraging it.
Cool. Let's see him. Looking good, bud. And what happened in football today?
Someone's mom told their kid that girls can only wear nail polish, and
that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Ridiculous.
And then I said, your mom's only mad because I got more taste than you.
Nice job, buddy.
The forced laughing, and then let's get a look at the dad.
Even football players, even baseball players.
Based on the dad's appearance, I can tell how good the kid is at football. Not very good.
Yeah.
The kid's response to the mom was, you're just mad because I have more taste than you.
So you're making him paint his nails, and then you're giving him sassy gay clapbacks.
Something like Nathan Lane would say.
Yeah.
Like, I have more taste than you. And then, painting your nails. Let's not go completely crazy. You can paint your nails on the football team if you're the best person on the team and you're some sick fuck savage that not everyone understands who just murders people.
If you're the middle linebacker with a neck roll and more testosterone than anyone on the team, you can paint your nails.
And you can just kill people and no one's even going to say anything because they're like, oh, I don't want to bother that.
Spike is going to kill me if I say anything about his nails.
Well, but this kid looks like he just kind of gets wrecked and has nail polish. So it's like his dad, because he's trying to be virtuous and like modern and progressive, is sending his not that athletic son into the buzzsaw because, everyone's just jealous or whatever.
This is way more about the dad than it is the kid really wanting to do it.
Yeah.
And the dad, like you said, sending him into a buzzsaw of not only football, but school, anything. Like, who's the most understanding group of people? Large groups of 11-year-old boys.
Yeah, 7th graders.
Yeah, they're tolerant. You're not setting your kid up for any sort of bullying or long-term shit.
Yeah, exactly. Spike, the middle linebacker.
And he's got black nail polish. He can do whatever he wants.
And a spike collar.
He can beat up his dad.
He wears eye makeup too, and it's like, that guy's fucking nuts. He beats up my dad. Let's go to the toxic mother who's trying to get thumbnails.
Here's another one in the...
Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this for the video. Go like this, put one hand up, go like this. No, go like this. Put your hand like this. But let them see your mouth. Let them see your mouth.
Oh, Mom, I'm actually crying.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Mask hanging off her ear.
I know. Look at me. Look at me. Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
All right, we're
Well,
done.
yeah, Mom knows how to get thumbnails for the YouTube video.
Yeah, Mom's probably got 500K. Mom's probably putting up numbers. I don't know.
So that kid could be trans in a month.
Yeah, he's on his way. Well, whatever trend Mommy likes, I think it might be a trend that we haven't even seen yet that comes out in 2 years, and she goes, ooh, I can get early on that one.
Yeah.
Trans is a little stale for Mommy right now. COVID's over, so.
A little stale, too. Who knows what the next one is.
Yeah.
That's pretty much as brutal as it gets.
I saw another one too. That was the mom was talking about getting. I think it was from Based Latin as well. The mom was talking about, oh, we finally got approved for hormones or puberty blockers. It was one of the two. But like, there's like a 20-second thing in the beginning where she's setting up the camera to make sure that mom is like 50% in. So, you know, some sick fucks out there. Social media makes you do some crazy shit.
Yeah, you marry the wrong person and have a kid with the wrong person
in the wrong state, California.
You fuck up your whole life.
God forbid.
You fuck up your whole life.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the trans tennis coach rehired.
Gettysburg Area School Board and PA just voted 6-2 to rehire a cross-dressing tennis coach who was accused by students of undressing with them in the girls' locker room.
And there he is.
There's Big Mike. There's Michael.
Let's bring him back in. He was accused of undressing with the girls in the locker room, and they voted 6-2 to bring him back as the tennis coach. So I think literally anyone, if you're in that school district, should be running for school board. There should be 6 people going to jail, hopefully.
Friendly reminder to run for school board, even if nothing bad's happening right now, just so you have that crucial vote, right, guys?
We need the board votes.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one, the trans bathroom. This was a interesting video.
This is a selfie video. I just like to show the great examples. I call them like exhibits almost. It's like a museum type thing.
So I just had to email my department chair and be like, listen, I need a new advisor. The vibes are off with mine. I don't like her. And if she didn't teach 2, actually potentially 3 required courses in my program, I would never take a course with her. And then over the course of the
so this is like a Gorlock type.
Gorlock Jr., like a underling almost.
So there's like a physiognomy there. You know, you can kind of like see someone's physiognomy and almost predict their behavior.
And I call this person apple-shaped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, men are apple-shaped, how they hold fat. Women are a pair, legs, but, you know, men just get a gut and go, hey, my legs are still fine. Just much like this guy here.
Much like this guy. That's a Gorlock physiognomy. And the Gorlocks, Gorlock the Destroyer is the full name.
Of course.
Gorlocks want to destroy stuff. So it's women's sports, women's locker rooms, you know, school, the education system, whatever it is. And this person is motivated by perverted power. They want power. It's a power grab. It wasn't enough to dress like that with the midriff showing and the girl's outfit and the dress.
You ever see a skirt fit like that on anybody else in your life?
Nope. Skirt over the belly button.
Skirt over the gut where it all gets narrower underneath.
Not even close. And it's not enough to use the girl's bathroom. Not enough to use the girl's bathroom and film in there. You basically need to control how people think about you.
Yeah.
That's what this person's motivated by. They do it all just to say, look what I'm doing. You have to believe this. You have to listen. You have to let me in. And it's not enough. They want to control your thoughts to the point where it's, you have to think I'm a girl. You have to think I'm hot. You want me. And that's what the Gorlocks want.
They want that.
Gorlocks
Your man is in her DMs. Her.
Yeah.
And then another thing that kind of brought this onto me, you know, the trans ideology and indoctrination center is kind of a cult. When no one said, hey, maybe for you, I'd just dress up in private. Hey, maybe for you, it's probably easier to go through life and better for your mental health to like dress like a man because you'll never be even close. You know what I mean? So like whoever advised this one kind of led them, we're leading into the buzzsaw theme here. Because this person just got led into a life of, like every room you walk into, oh, fuck. You know, just like a reaction. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Stacy, is it? Okay.
Should have repressed that one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, is there ever, and which brings me to my next point, is there ever a case where the trans community at large will say, hey, maybe not you?
There's a line.
Yeah, and I don't think there is based
there
on
can't be.
based on
Progressivism,
this.
there can't be a line. And like all the other Gorlocks, these types like to stick around where they're not wanted and ruin a normal person's space because you have to listen. The law says this, the school said that, you need to blah, blah, blah.
Sounds like a you problem, not me, the man with the apple body skirt.
Filming in the girl's bathroom.
Shorty had that apple body skirt.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe there's something there.
There could be.
Couldn't get there quick enough.
Last clip of Cringe, the trans woman shits on the girl's car. Or in the girl's car?
I'll tell you. I'll get to it all. So, basically, the headline was Portland trans activist, quote, destroyed and defecated inside teen girl's car over transphobia claims. Car towed away because it was considered a biohazard. So, that's a lot of words for grown-up man shits in teenage girl's car.
That's a pretty fluffy headline.
But I digress, right?
For what really happened here.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fluffy headline.
And so basically we, like the headline, you see the headline, you go to Garbage Humans post, you see the headline, it's funny, we laugh, we move on. But sometimes the details are what's important,
This is where the simulation winks back.
The incident, which occurred on August 27th, began after the 17-year-old victim parked near Shemansky's tent while on a shopping trip.
How do you spell Shemansky?
Shemansky.
So, She-Man.
Shemansky.
The simulation likes to, it makes it, if you know how to look.
If you know how to read the leaves.
It's everywhere.
They're laughing. We're laughing with them. It's like the Matrix where Neo finally starts to see and he goes, that's a joke. Okay. And he's fighting Agent Smith. He's going like this.
That's us.
And so, hold on. I want to, because this story has kind of like everything. It's like a modern day, like, I don't even know what to call it. It has everything. So the incident began after the 17-year-old victim parked near Shemansky's tent.
So it's a tent person.
While on a shopping trip. From his tent, Shemansky threw a stick at the girl and called her transphobic. Now, if you were to guess, would you say this 17-year-old girl instigated anything with a tent man?
Doubt it.
I don't think she said anything. So transphobic is like Shemansky was jealous and projecting. Yeah. And so threw a stick is my guess.
17-year-old girl was like, that's me.
Yeah. According to a now deleted GoFundMe campaign for the victim set up by her mother, the teen was a little confused on what just happened. So she picked up her pace and continued walking to her destination, a pizza shop. Upon leaving the restaurant 10 to 15 minutes later, the girl could see from a distance that her front windshield had been shattered. She didn't approach her car at first, immediately called 911 from the top of the street before ringing her mother. By the time I got there, the full picture of the incident had been exposed, the girl's mother wrote. Her car was smashed at all four sides. Every piece of glass was shattered. There was human waste throughout the entire car. The police were there, and the suspect was cuffed and being arrested.
Here's where it gets good.
Every single piece of glass.
Human
shit.
Human shit in the car.
This speaks to how rational trans people are.
Every piece of glass smashed. The girl's 17. This is some street rat trans person.
Here's the cherry on top.
Here's where it gets, modern day.
Exactly. Shemansky was released the same day he was booked. A hearing scheduled for the next day resulted in a failure to appear, and the case is still logged as open in the Oregon Judicial Department system.
So it was a tent trans person who attacked a 17-year-old girl's car, shit in the car, broke every window of the car, was arrested, released the same day, and I'm assuming no bail, was asked to appear in court for a hearing the next day and didn't show.
Yeah.
So that person's still out there doing at least, we have the line of how far they'll go.
Yeah, we'll see them on their next arrest, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. And then despite also having existing outstanding warrants. So this person had warrants.
Warrants and got released in the same day.
And then immediately fails to appear. So, hey.
And it's a Gorlock type, too.
Lovely system. Yeah, here's another picture.
That's a Gorlock type.
Yeah, nice tits, bro.
Yeah.
You're on it.
Oh, man. All right, well, that's the end of Cringe of the Week. Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed.
Very rarely do you get a story that hits every single topic of modern day. Bail, tent, miscreants, trans, vandalism.
Biohazard shit.
Biohazard human shit. Crazy.
That's been happening a lot. Happened on the plane last week. All right, let's not get too down. Let's get more depressed and move on to Urban Decay.
Nice twist.
We have 2 pages of Urban Decay, and it's interesting stuff.
Okay.
First, we have the TV writer who thinks rapists should be set free.
Yeah, this was brought to our attention by our friend Mimetic Sisyphus, who was chirping this person because of the insane stuff.
Let's start from all the way.
Yeah, so somebody goes, something that, and the topic is like prison abolition or like social justice way of dealing with crime, basically. So someone says, something that confuses me about prison abolitionists is how most tend to huff and puff when people bringing up rapists like it's some extreme rare edge case. Rape happens routinely in every country, everywhere. And then, so this is where our subject of this whole thing comes in. Kate Willett. She says, sexual assault victim here. I really wish people would stop using a terrible thing that happened to me to put 1 million people in a cage. All right, so you know where she's at. Somebody replies and says, what is the appropriate consequence for your perpetrator? And Kate Willett says, probably his friends and family knowing what he did and being involved in his process of being a better person.
Local community policing.
Not even. That doesn't even count. That's just like telling your dad and like your brother and then your 3 best friends, hey, this guy raped me. Take care of him, all right?
Wow.
And then so somebody else said these people are insane psychopaths. And then she says, this is the Yimby, yes, in my backyard, who really kicked off the sexual assault gamergating. And yes, he's defa Yimby. Bio says Yimby. His followers going after a sexual assault victim who is not even me are Yimbys. I really want people to understand how radicalized a lot of these people are.
Yeah.
So she wants you to just tell your friends after the rape. She wants your friends to know, but he's radicalized, this guy.
He's radicalized. This person wants no jail for rapists. Mimetic Sisyphus replied, ma'am, you're saying rapists don't belong in prison. We're not the ones radicalized.
It's not that hard.
Which is exactly true.
And so this kind of goes back to the New Mexico gun grab woman just trying to say, no, guns, constitutional gun rights are off. Is that the same type of lady? This is a little more extreme, but I think they're cut from the same cloth back in the day or something.
Yeah, and it's people who don't see the violence and stuff firsthand, like before it happens to them, especially for the New Mexico lady and then this next lady we're going to talk about.
But not to move on too quickly, but it's like they talk about this guy becoming a better person or something, and you're just setting up another woman to get raped.
Yeah.
You know? So like you're thinking about you and all my stuff and I was raped and I was able to handle it, but you're setting up some innocent girl to just get absolutely raped again by someone who's proven to do it and now knows there's no consequences. You know, I think humans ultimately only respond to incentives. There's a lot of incentives for us not to do crime. There's a lot of incentives for people not to take a leap and do antisocial behavior. But once the rapist just gets a talking to from his buddies, he's gonna rape someone who's never been raped before, and then that chain kind of like keeps going. So
So let's go to our next clip, which is a video of a black guy attacking 2 white women. And let's see, maybe he can get some community policing or something.
Let's see if his boys will intervene.
Yeah.
And the white girl's, I guess, a little bit of instigating.
Well, yeah, she's slapping and whatever, but she's like got no shoes on. This other girl's not doing anything. Absolute sucker punch, choked.
Sucker punch from behind on the white woman you could easily run away from.
This other black guy tries to fight this other white guy. This guy's punching the girl on the ground.
And this guy's trying to do an Undertaker move where breaks her head on the concrete.
And look at, here's his buddy coming over laughing with the guy in the hoodie. This guy's slapping the girl. This other guy's laughing. And it's not over yet. And just absolutely KOs her. How about the guy in the hoodie coming over laughing? I guess that's the person who, you know, needs to help correct their friend to get him on a better track.
Yeah, after somebody rapes someone, that's the guy who's supposed to come in and, I don't know, shame him so it never happens again.
Correct the behavior, I guess.
But yeah, you know, this is just a standard thing, is full-on crow hop swinging into white women, you know? So, I mean, ladies, I don't know. You gonna hang out with those types of guys ever again, or are you gonna learn a lesson, or what?
Yeah, Cernovich had some great tweets about this type of thing. It was about a girl, this girl, Normal Audrey Horn. She tweeted, "I feel a visceral disgust towards men who deny any instinct to defend women." That's what she says. And then later, after the Daniel Penny incident, she said, "You can defend yourself and others if necessary without literally murdering another person in the process. What the fuck is wrong with people on here?" And Cernovich had a great tweet about it where he said, "These are the kind of jurors Subway hero Danny Penny will have. Whatever white knight impulse you have, save it for your family. Same woman yelling, 'Real men do something,' will convict your ass."
100%. I couldn't agree more. And, and you have to be the one who rises up above it and knows that. Obviously, there's gray area in this, case by case thing, but you have to be making an assessment on the fly on that. And a lot of times it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
Especially like those two white women who got absolutely brutalized by that group of laughing black men.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the bed you made?
When you hang out with those people.
Is that the bed you made? I don't know. I'm certainly not getting involved in that.
Yep.
I'll look at it and say it's disgusting afterwards and use it maybe as a teaching tool for my own daughters.
Mm-hmm.
See what can happen. I don't know. But, that might be a bed you made. So I wouldn't risk myself getting involved in that.
Speaking of beds being made, there was a Minnesota Democrat from end of last week who was huge anti-police person. We need to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department as allies.
Say it with me. Dismantle the Minneapolis. It's that energy, that sort of like Twitter tough talk energy, clapping hands. As allies, what can we do right now? Listen and learn from our black siblings. MPD has systematically failed black community, all of us. It's time to build new infrastructure that works for all communities. But same old song and dance.
And that was 2020, right after George Floyd. This person's in Minnesota. And then recently, this same person posted, "Look at my face. Remember me when you're thinking about supporting
I'll read it.
Yeah.
When you're thinking about supporting letting juveniles and young people out of custody to roam our streets instead of holding them accountable for their actions." This could have been...
you could have been reading the obituary for me and my children today. But instead, I'm here to write this. Look at my face. These criminals will not win. We need to take back our city, and this will not last.
Who's we, bitch?
Yeah.
We need to take back our city? You flip-flopped twice.
You told the police to go home, and then you got attacked. Now you're like, where are the cops?
What the fuck are you talking about? So, I mean, tuck yourself in. That's the bed you made, right? If you really feel this way and are going to change, then you need to be an activist on our side.
Yeah.
You need to be going to bail hearings and yelling from the rooftop who got let out, what violent criminal got let out on no bail and stuff like that. Because, I don't believe you, frankly. You seem to float with the wind.
And you're like a girl, and that's what girls do. They kind of just go with whatever the group is doing or whatever the safe group is doing. And this person, these types think that poverty is what causes the violence. And they don't really come into contact with violent criminals, and they just think, oh, people do crimes because they're destitute and they don't have enough money and opportunities, and we need to vote Democrat to, for equity so these people can have a seat at the table in society. Yeah. And it's like, nah, buddy, you're talking about low IQ criminals who literally will shoot you for whatever you have in your pockets. They don't even know. A phone, a wallet, cash, no cash. They'll just shoot you.
$80.
They don't care. So it's until that person meets a person like this in an unfortunate situation, I guess it can change her mind. She'll probably still vote Democrat.
Oh, of course. Of
Yeah.
course. I don't think there's anything.
So that's what's going to happen. It's George Floyd was just misunderstood, and then the police murdered him. It's George Floyd was a street rat. He was doing drugs and robbing people. But, that's what happens. They're so removed from the violence that they don't know who they're actually dealing with. And then if violence gets so out of control over years and years, now that the violence is heading into the suburbs in their neighborhoods, and they're going to kind of, unfortunately, have to go in the bed they made.
Yeah.
Which is the theme of a lot of people on our show.
And there's a new thing where it's, good men create, strong men create good times, blah, 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 that whole meme. And it's we haven't made one for what women create yet. They've only been kind of really voting in the last 50, 60, 70 years. So I guess we're seeing what they make.
Yeah.
Right now.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to Uplifting Gold.
All right.
We can't get too down and too depressed.
I'm feeling down.
Oh,
I'm
actually,
feeling depressed.
We have one more page of Urban Decay. the delivery robot, the syringes in the toilet paper.
Oh, yeah,
and the
we
street
have so
rat.
much more.
Oh, so a little more depression.
Let's get down. Let's get depressed.
Let's get down.
look at
Let's
this.
get depressed.
Also, this section is kind of called dystopia. 50 years ago, everyone was, flying planes, and what will we have? A rail system that gets you from LA to New York in 28 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that's a little stretch. But, what do we have now? Which one do you want to start
Let's start with the delivery robot. Like you said, these are all things of like society trying to have nice things. But when you have people in society that aren't put in jail for crimes they do or, put in jail for antisocial behavior, you can't have both nice things and antisocial people.
This person in California just robbed and vandalized the food delivery robot.
Smart. There's food in there.
Easy pickings.
He's not even a guy.
Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things. More incidents like this are increasing now. This has affected local businesses as they lost money and potential customers as well.
Watch this.
The startup company for repairs and the food delivery service. Food delivery robots have been a common sight in parts of Los Angeles, but now they are facing danger from individuals targeting them to kick them, vandalize them, knock them over,
I feel bad
and
for the
steal
robot.
the food.
At the same time, I don't fucking care. They probably clog up the streets and,
Maybe it's just the music.
But you can't even come close to having it. You're going to have street rats getting involved and, the the alarm. You think a street rat feels shame?
Yeah, exactly. Can't have nice things. And in fact, you can't even have normal things. This next thing, people try to use the bathroom in public. Sorry, street rats are cleaning their needles in the toilet paper.
This says, found at a public bathroom near you. These are from junkies cleaning off their needles. Heads up, bring your own toilet paper, ladies and gents. I've been bringing my own for years, and my family thought I was weird. This is why. And you can see where they just kind of pick a piece, and then they clean off their needle by shoving it into the compressed toilet paper roll. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little heroin
blood
things.
spots.
Yeah.
Disgusting, dirty needle blood spots. Can't even go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Can't have that in society because
Yeah.
they're street rats. But everyone's got to keep voting Democrat because violence and crime only happens because people are poor.
Yeah, it's just a poverty thing. So wipe your ass with the bloody heroin hepatitis C toilet paper. Good luck.
That's life in the big city.
Hope you don't get caught outside the public having to take a dump anywhere because it's disgusting.
All right, next, last thing, our rail system. A
Yeah.
UW study shows fentanyl fumes and residue was found on a lot of Metro and Sound Transit buses and trains, and their tests found meth in 100% of samples on trains. 2 years ago, Metro bus drivers told me they were being overcome by drug fumes and no one was listening to them.
So this is all a test from University of Washington, I think, in the Seattle area. So buses, 63 samples analyzed, 48% had quantifiable fentanyl, 100% had quantifiable methamphetamine. Trains, 27% had fentanyl, 92% had methamphetamine.
Nice. And it only takes a little bit of fentanyl to kill you.
Yeah.
Like the smallest amount. So it's like if there's quantifiable fentanyl, there's fentanyl in the air, on the whatever.
Hope your baby doesn't grab the arm pole and, then touch its mouth.
Exactly.
Get fentanyl street rat shit.
So you can't have nice things because all the street rats keep getting let out.
So it's not even just disappointing that we don't have Utopia, but it's actually we're going backwards by quite a bit.
Fast. We're
Just
free falling.
Just because dealing with America's criminals might be racist or something? I don't know, but don't shit out in public and don't touch the buses.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's the end of Urban Decay. Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. Let's move on to Uplifting Gold. Our Uplifting Gold's not even that uplifting today.
That's a shame.
I'm going to be honest.
Tough break for you guys who waited.
Weren't that many good clips.
Yeah.
But we have funny stuff.
Okay.
AirPods falls out. This is funny.
Touchdowns in the game, but he was without his best wide receiver and tight end in Travis Kelce. He did utilize the other 12 guys on his roster.
He just lost them. He lost them both same time.
Get off the field.
And he was just going and just pretending it didn't happen. I respect it. Show must go on type shit.
I think they were in the wrong ear, and that's why they were so stupid.
Yeah.
But who knows? He can work on that. It's week 1. Week 1 of the NFL season, so he'll come back stronger.
And with week 1 of the NFL season comes fights in preseason camp. We have a little bit of a Cowboys preseason camp fight, O-line versus D-line. Rapway and I were O-linemen back in the day.
A little slap. Oh, attacks him.
Oh, and his boy comes and cleans it up. So run that back one more time. We can kind of explain what happened here. So he's doing a thing, he plays to the whistle, gives him a little shove, no big deal.
D-lineman gets a little extra hand slap.
And then 67 walks away, turns his back to him, and then the guy tries to come hit him in his back, and then another O-lineman protects the guy whose back is turned, lays the guy out, and then it's a huge fight.
Yep.
Which I like to see.
Absolutely.
It's good when the boys are fighting it out.
Boys are buzzing.
Yeah. Freshman year of football, we got into a huge fight, O-line versus D-line, and it was a good sign.
Yeah.
But then we lost every game. We went 0-10 that year. So
First time in history since like 1898 or something.
It was so tough. Yeah. And we lost the first game. I remember thinking, like, all right, well, we can still win the whole championship if we just win out the rest of the games. And then every week we kind of kept thinking that. And then it was like, wait a sec. We might not win any games.
No one's coming to save us.
Wait a sec. We're playing UNH and we've lost 6 games already.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Let's go to the Black Lotion drive-through bit.
Yeah, this is good.
Will you let them know, the person I paid for, will you let them know that I'm a black person that doesn't believe in lotion or chapstick? Paid for their order? Will you let them know that?
Yeah. Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem. The person in front of you paid for your coffee. So
Okay.
we'll have it out to you shortly.
You know why?
Huh?
You know why?
No.
No?
I don't. They just paid for it.
Well, there are nice people in the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. We'll have it. It's brewing right now, so we'll have that to you shortly. Did you
Alright.
want any sugars or creamer?
No, I'm good.
So
couldn't follow through with it.
She just was like, I can't say that.
That's a good bit, though. I like when people discover new bits that you can film both and make it, the drive-through worker.
And there is like a racial aspect to that where it's like the white teenage girl who's like, oh, the black person said this. And there's kind of like this, like, I have to do whatever they say. I have to repeat it exactly how it was. And then she just kind of didn't.
Yeah.
Because if like it was a white guy, they'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm not saying that. But because it's a black person, it's like, yeah, I'll tell them that. And then the moment comes around and she got scared.
I like it.
Me too. The guy ran off a bear in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, this might be uplifting got lucky.
Yeah.
Might not be the best move.
Come on, Mike. Come on.
I got it.
This is what you do. A bear comes, you just get in his face and run him off.
A little bit. Maybe you don't hover around him that much. But watch this. It gets tense. Here's where it.
Oh, hey.
Mike, hey. No. Mike.
Mike, get on it. Mike. Just move. Just.
Mike, don't move. Mike, no, go that way. Holy shit, that son of a bitch. Did he die? Oh my god. You are right.
Holy shit.
Swiped him.
I like that.
But you're doing it for the bit.
I know. He was doing it for the video. He sees, someone's filming? All right.
I had a bit idea like that. We actually said on the show a long time ago. If you ever see a great white in the water, you can kind of just jump on it.
And you startle it, yeah.
And then it just swims off for a second before it comes back. And then you get out of the water and you're all good. And you look like a psycho. It's like a party trick. Where you just jump in, the shark goes away, and you're like, oh, this guy's so crazy. He jumped on a great white.
Yeah.
That's what that guy was doing. But he got swiped.
Yeah, a lot of black bears, especially in PA around people, they're just like trash monsters. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a sad thing, sad existence.
Big raccoons.
Exactly.
All right, want to go to the fattest, it says fattest bitch ever. I'm not sure what this clip means.
Probably something Elijah posted.
I know people gotta be upset. You spend your whole life trying not to be a fat bitch because you think it's like the worst thing in the world. And then you see a broad like me, just a big fucking behemoth, living my best life. That's just gotta hurt.
Well,
I don't see you long. I'm ahead of you after 3 minutes.
Yeah, and then the boyfriend kind of looked like you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he looks like me. Let's go back. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he looks exactly like me. Will you turn your head to the side for the camera? Yeah. Kiss? Do a kiss? Not towards me. Yeah, he looks like me, though.
So, guys, it's time to be more confident.
Yeah.
If you're less fat than this person, which I think everyone pretty much is.
If you're more fat than this person, please, you better be working out listening to this podcast.
That's a good point, too. But, guys, it's time to up our confidence. We need to be at least this confident if you're less fat than this person.
You need to be delusional.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of the episode. Another Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleccasMerch.com for the free Big Don shirts and the new podcast t-shirts. New cool design that we really like. Everyone's loving those. Those have been getting delivered all month. And then also FleccasTalks.com. We had over 3 hours of exclusive bonus content on FleccasTalks.com. So if you love this show and you're watching at this point and you're thinking, maybe one day I'll join FleccasTalks.com, now is the time. Links are in the description. It supports the show. We have a great bonus land coming this week and a bunch of bonus content next week and the week after and the week after that. So if you want more of this show, FleccasTalks.com is your place. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you at the next one.
Girlfriend, USA, die as Jeremy Fragrance, the #1 fragrance icon that follows the teachings of Jesus.